We are sorry that our ancestors were intelligent, advanced, and daring enough to explore the wild oceans to discover new countries and to develop them.
We are sorry that those who came before us took you out of the bush and taught you that there was more to life than beating drums and chasing animals with sticks and stones.
We are sorry that they planned, funded and developed roads, towns, mines, factories, airports, all of which you now claim to be your long-deprived inheritance. So much so that you now feel it's your right to change and rename these at your discretion.
We are sorry that our parents taught us the value of small but strong families, so our children would not end up as underfed, illiterate shack dwellers, living in poverty and waiting for government handouts.
We are sorry that when the evil apartheid government provided you with schools, you decided they looked better without windows or in piles of ash.
We happily gave up those bad days of getting spanked in our schools for doing something wrong, and much prefer these days of freedom with drug abuse and violence, where problems can be resolved with knives and guns.
We are sorry that it is hard to shake off the bitterness of the past when you keep on raping, torturing, and killing our friends and family members, and then hide behind the fence of human rights.
71,000 sexual assaults, 15,000 hijackings, 18,148 murders per year. Let's put that in perspective. Less than 6,000 American soldiers died each year in the Vietnam War. Since 1994, over 3,000 farm murders. Total murders? Over 290,000 people. And South Africa has become the murder capital of the world.
We are sorry that we do not trust the government. We have no reason to be suspicious, seeing that there has never been a case where any of these poor hard-working intellectuals have ever been involved in any form of corruption or irregularities.
We are sorry that we can no longer trust the police force, although they have openly admitted that they have lost the war against crime and criminals. We should not be so negative and just forgive our ex-police commissioner for being a thug.
We are sorry that our once carefully monitored borders have now been flung wide open and left you competing for jobs against illegal immigrants. We are sorry that their countries have not grown into economical powerhouses after kicking out the white settlers.
We are sorry that we don't believe in witchcraft, beetroot and garlic cures, urinating in public or trading women for cattle. Maybe we just grew up differently and don't appreciate superstition, ignorance, and these cultural practices.
We are sorry that your medical care, roads, water and electrical supplies are going down the toilet, because skilled people who planned and resolved these issues years ago had to be replaced because they were of the wrong ethnic background, and now have to work in foreign countries where their skills are more appreciated.
We are so sorry that billions of taxpayers' money that should have been used to uplift the poor has been consumed by the constant bailouts of incompetent management teams.
We should rejoice with the executives who reward themselves with performance bonuses for services they don't supply, and learn how they do it, so we can all take advantage of taxpayers' money.
We are sorry that you have so easily accepted the lies of your politicians as they blame apartheid for their failures and give you little or no service delivery.
Here are a few statistics that they don't want you to know about during those evil apartheid years, 1948 to 1994. The average wage of blacks was 3 times higher in South Africa than anywhere else in Africa.
Of all black people owning cars in Africa, 85% of them were in South Africa.
The infant death rate was under half of the rest of Africa.
The average life expectancy of South African blacks rose by nearly 30 years, from 36 to 64 years.
80% of all black doctors were educated in South Africa, in institutions supported by the apartheid government.
Average tax expenditure was 56% for black institutions and infrastructure, more than for any other racial group. Does this look like exploitation and oppression? Bearing in mind that when the settlers arrived here, there was no infrastructure, no roads, no buildings, no technology. The use of the wheel was not even evident. In fact, there was nothing to signify any kind of permanent occupation or infrastructure at all. Everything was either imported, designed, developed, or bought and paid for by the settlers. We are sorry that we get upset when we see this great country going down the drain as incompetent and power-hungry politicians hide their greed and uselessness behind their lies, abuse of power and nepotism, all the while bleeding our country dry as they line their back pockets at the expense of the poor, while trying to give the impression that they care.
Still shooting us. What for? What have we done to deserve this?
We are prepared to take up arms and kill for Zuma.
We are sorry and should really try harder to be more tolerant and understanding instead of getting frustrated with high levels of crime, poor service delivery, incompetence and corruption. We are sorry that party politics is more important than the welfare of the people you are supposed to govern.
We are so sorry that we have to make a film like this in an effort to get South Africans to wake up, stop accepting all these lies, and let people who have the proper skills and moral standards once again lead this country back to prosperity for all, regardless of their racial category.
We are sorry, but we would like this country to fulfill its potential so we can once again be proud South Africans.